What's up, America? Welcome back to another episode of The Voice of Reason. As you can see, all three of us are here. James wasn't feeling all that well yesterday, so we decided just to come on today and break down the fact
I'm
that
looking at too.
Donald Trump has officially started World War III. We have crossed the point of no return. There will be consequences. Yeah, there will be consequences to Donald Trump's actions on a global scale. So, yeah, we have taken over Venezuela. We have completely taken over Venezuela. We're stealing their oil. We captured their leader, which I still have questions about.
Well, according to Trump today, they're going to give us 50 million barrels of oil.
Right,
He's going to let our companies sell it, and then he himself is going to control where that money goes.
Right, exactly. This is all going into these billionaire pedos' pockets, okay?
He's shown that he's very good handling money, guys. I don't know. There's nothing in his history to suggest otherwise.
He's known for being excellent at handling money.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's so good. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about how this has way more to do with Venezuela. This is not just about Venezuela. Venezuela is the start of it all. Okay, we're going to talk about something called the Monroe Doctrine, where these white assholes, these rich white assholes, seem to think that we should just control the entire Western Hemisphere. That's where we're at now. The United States is going to try and take over the Western Hemisphere. Unfortunately for them, they're the dumbest fucking people possible to try and pull this off.
Yeah, but they also have the nukes.
Right, that's scary.
That's a great combination.
I am worried about the amount of the loss of life in 2026 is going to be staggering. People are going to die. People are going to die as a result of what Donald Trump did.
Hey, you know what? People are going to die at home too with some of these policies because there's going to be retaliation the worse this gets. And don't forget about domestic policies like less vaccines and other things. 2026,
the meningitis thing.
Yep, 2026 is going to see, Jeremy, I think you're spot on, a really ridiculous loss of life that the United States is solely responsible for.
Right? It's going to be a absolute nightmare. So we're going to talk about all that. They're already talking about Cuba. Of course, they're back talking about Greenland. And, you know, they've talked about Panama, Mexico, and Canada. So that's where we're at now. Donald Trump.
Yeah, I don't know if we got videos of the Greenland thing, but he's already told the cabinet to look at buying Greenland.
Right.
He's wanted plans.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, so we are the bad guys. Okay, we are the Fourth Reich. Okay, America. That's what you got to understand how the outside world sees us. Okay, they don't see us as the land of the free, the home of the brave. They see us as a corrupt country run by billionaire pedophiles who are trying to take over other countries.
And other world leaders are saying it. Yeah, we were just
we had the same thought.
Right, we are not the hero in any scenario, and I honestly think we haven't been for a long time.
I don't think we've ever been. If you really look at our history, I mean, is there other than propaganda? Everything we've ever done has either been for money, for land, for power, or because we were forced to and we had no other choice.
Right.
I always say we didn't go into World War II to save the Jews. We went into World War II because we were like, shit, we're going to need to fight Japan also with your help. Please help. Sure, we'll help there. You help here. We didn't go in there to save anyone with like the outset. So America has never been the hero in anyone's story except our own.
That's what we've been sold a lie, guys. It's all, but at least it's all coming out now, and we're starting to realize that hopefully after this is all over, whenever that might be, we can rebuild something better.
I hope.
But you know what? Before we start tonight, I wanted to play this video. I wanted to play it as an opener, but it's too long. It's like 2.5 minutes long, and I apologize for the length, but it's a really good video.
Are we gonna get thoughts on J6 real quick?
Yeah, we'll talk about it right after this video because it actually applies to it. Kind of involves like J6 stuff. This is a video Mike and I played probably 2 years ago. It's from a company called 11 Films. They're on Twitter, Facebook. I think they're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. And they made this video and posted it. And Mike and I played it a few times, and we didn't play the full version. But I want you to just watch this video and just see how close to reality this is and what could be in America. We're not far off from what this video is depicting, a total dystopia.
I love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no, other than day one." As my first order of business, I hereby declare martial law.
Citizens of the new America. Here are today's announcements. Supreme Leader Donald Trump proclaims the 4th of July will no longer be celebrated as Independence Day. In honor of our 2021 Patriots, January 6th will now be recognized as our great nation's birthday. All citizens are required to participate in quadrant festivities. Failure to do so will be met with harsh punishment and immediate incarceration in your local detention camp.
I'm tired of this separation of
How much of this has already come true?
Yeah, it's like we're already here.
Considered spiritual soldiers of MAGA, regardless of race,
this is aging
or health of the woman.
Very
abortion
uncomfortable.
Is now illegal. Anyone caught providing or receiving an abortion will be charged with murder.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Due to previous liberal indoctrination, all schools are hereby closed.
This is so
Corporation
crazy,
for
bro.
Public Broadcasting is closed.
Yep.
Book elimination celebration festivities. Failure to do so will be met with harsh punishment and immediate incarceration in your local detention camp.
Oh my
All
God.
migrants, refugees, and dreamers are now considered enemies of the new America and will be rounded up, incarcerated, and deported immediately.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. We will root out the radical left thugs that live like vermin.
Vermin.
Your curfew and freedom to travel will be determined by your quadrant's vermin surveillance system. Vermin surveillance system has proven to be invaluable in detecting and squashing liberal uprisings.
Oh my God. This is AI. AI.
Continue to report any progressive or liberal activity. Failure to do so will be met with harsh punishment and immediate incarceration at your local detention camp. Your unwavering loyalty to Supreme Leader Donald Trump is mandatory and essential in keeping the new
God
America
damn it, yo. These
great
guys
forever.
are spot on with this. Wow. Yeah, go check their channel.
Wow,
out if
I don't know
can.
about you guys, but I feel really hopeful now. That was very
Yeah,
amazing.
that was
What a
dark in our
heartwarming
future.
moment. Jeez.
But-
I couldn't help but laugh when they talked about, and when he was like, July 4th will no longer be our president.
Right.
And I thought about the 90s Independence Day, where it's like, July 4th will no longer be an
Oh, yeah.
American holiday, but a world holiday. And instead, Trump was
Yep.
like, it will now be my birthday. Like, such
I know,
radical
right?
difference.
But I'm surprised he hasn't announced Jan 6th
Give it
as like
time.
the new
You know,
Independence
it's funny
Day, right?
because we're still at the point where even though his brains are pudding, he's not stark raving mad yet. When he gets stark raving mad, that's when he's going to do shit like that.
Mm-hmm. But we're not far off. Like some of this stuff has already happened. You know, we've been labeled domestic terrorists. You know what I mean? Abortions are going to be made illegal across the country. They want to charge women with murder.
Yeah.
You know, those things are really happening.
Already happening.
Christianity as a weapon. They're trying to make everybody believe in. It's not even the Bible. I found out today it's called the Schofield Bible is what these guys believe in. Look up what the Schofield
is rifle brand.
I think it's called the Schofield Bible. I have to look it up.
Skull, like, gotcha.
Yeah, Schofield, I believe it is. It's what Charlie Kirk and them believed in. That's where this whole, if those who bless Israel will be blessed. That's where all of this comes from. Okay. That was never in the Bible. Okay. So it all started with, back in the 19 teens or whatever. They rewrote the Bible, reinterpreted it to include Zionism. That's why we're this Judeo-Christian movement right now. It's nuts. So, but yeah, we want to talk about Jan 6 real quick because obviously it is the 5-year anniversary. 100 people showed up today. And of course, those 100 people could not behave themselves. They started fights. They got arrested. I believe a couple of them may have gotten arrested.
Well, this is what happens when you don't face consequences for your actions and you get let out of prison.
Dude, they made such a big deal on, we're going to D.C. We're going to take our power back, bro. 100 of you. 100 of you showed up.
Man, I wish that veterans tent was still there.
Bro, this is what I mean. This is what I mean, everybody. Real life support for Donald Trump is not the same as internet support for Donald Trump. Because in real life, bot farms don't exist. Okay? This should prove to you that these fucking idiots do not believe in what they're saying.
No,
they're not willing to put their life on the line for Donald Trump. They're just trolls on the internet who talk shit.
And that's why
they stand by their word.
With Nick Fuentes, right? He went there to rile up the crowd. He wasn't actually in the riot. he dipped out long before that because these
he was
people are
part of
actually
inciting the riot.
I mean,
Nick Fuentes
January
was there.
We've said this so many times. The influencers that you see now that are turning away from Trump for myriad reasons are the ones that caused January 6th. Donald Trump, it was his plan. It was everything he wanted. But at the same time, it wouldn't have happened without the influencers.
Right.
And what January 6th was a straight up insurrection. We all watched it happen. Okay. And we did nothing to punish the perpetrators of that. You even have a couple of years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, I saw a video today. Mike Pence says that on that day, Donald Trump asked him to betray the Constitution on behalf of Donald Trump. Now, I'm no big Mike Pence fan, but Mike Pence took a stand, and he knew that his moral stance had to be somewhere. And you know what? I still to this day cannot believe he actually didn't go along with it, but he didn't. And he hasn't shied away from saying exactly what that day was.
He is actually. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say there's been a complete flip-flop because then you look at all these old statements from people like Lindsey Graham, the Fox fake news anchors, even Marco Rubio called it an insurrection and demanded that Trump resign. I think if he said, yes, Merrick Garland is a lot of the fucking reason we're here. And seeing that video, the thing that we just watched, the 11 Films thing, right? And then with what happened with January 6th, it shows the weakness of Democrats to me. Because so many Democrats will watch that kind of video and see that stuff actually happening. And again, I was doing this for you guys earlier. The best we can get is Chuck Schumer being like, well, I think it's women going to jail for murder for having an abortion. It's concerning. It's concerning. That's the best we can fucking get from you guys.
We got Donald Trump.
We would not be here if we had liberals and Democrats that would actually put up a goddamn fight.
Right. Well, listen, man, Donald Trump should never have even been on the ballot, for Christ's sake. It's stupid, the fact that he was on the ballot. The guy's
Kamala should have sued for it. She was too cheap.
Classified documents in his fucking bathroom, man. It's like that should have been. That's usually called treason. Normally, in a normal world, in a normal country, when somebody steals classified information, that's seditious.
To MAGA, that's called qualifications.
Yeah, that's a CV.
Yeah. Well, all right, you guys are gonna flip. So go to whitehouse.gov, January 6th. They have changed it, bro. They have changed it. Let me take this off the stage and add this. This is what they have now for January 6th. Nancy Pelosi.
There was a thing a couple months ago where Nancy Pelosi was walking outside the Capitol and she was hounded about, why didn't you call the National Guard for January 6th? Why did you just let this happen? And she turned around and got right in her face, like doing the old Karen, like, you listen to me, lady. I was there, okay? And this was all Trump's fault. We had no control over it. He had the National Guard. I'm like, where has this Pelosi been my whole life? Right. I've only seen the one who will just lightly bang the gavel because Marjorie Trader Green does her monkey impression, shouting, liar, liar.
Who knew? Think about this. On the 5th anniversary of January 6th, one of the sanest people in our government, hold the fuck on, is Marjorie Taylor Greene. And
that's not right.
Her actually coming to terms with the fact that she, as shitty as a human as she is, was also caught up in all the bullshit. She turned on Trump. She was literally, her and Booby Boebert, whatever her name is, were standing there like goofy cheerleaders booing Joe Biden during the State of the Union address.
Yeah, wearing
now
Trump
she, on the 5th anniversary of January 6th, is the sanest person in the Republican Party.
Has she called it out on today?
She didn't say anything specifically about January 6th, but she has been talking against Trump. She is against the Venezuela action. She's against all that stuff, and it's kind of bizarre to me.
Yeah, Democrats are they're a bunch of cucks.
They are.
Like, Donald Trump is taking over countries and keeping the oil and keeping the money, and Chuck Schumer is writing strongly worded letters.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect?
Fucking pussies.
You've got one guy up there just bombastic, like, I will find Venezuela on a map and I will drop a pin in it and it will have a hurricane summoned by Zeus himself. It's like, well, yeah, that sounds like that's pretty fucking strong, man. That's more appealing than, again, just this shit about like, well, I need to check with my donors, but maybe healthcare subsidies can keep going. Maybe. Like, who the fuck is the average voter going to choose? You know?
Yeah, I've lost complete confidence in most of our entire government, to be honest with you, at this point. They have really let us down. They filled us with hope. And you guys, I mean, honestly, you haven't done shit. You haven't done shit. You go in front of the camera. Well, we're so against this. This is not good, but we're not going to do shit about it.
I am upset with Marco Rubio. That was Chucky Schumer's big retort today.
Yeah,
I'm upset. I'm disappointed. Like, he actually said the old grandpa thing. I'm so disappointed in you, Sonny.
So that's a knockout blow if ever I heard one.
Speaking of Marco Rubio, he must have gone behind the scenes and been like, I don't want to be in charge of Venezuela. Because I remember Donald Trump, that video where Donald Trump was like, yeah, Marco Rubio. Yeah, Marco in the back is like, what the fuck? But now, to make things worse, I have a theory. Okay, I have a theory. Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller, the guy who is in charge of all of this fascist ICE bullshit, the one who literally gets his rocks off watching people with brown skin get put into concentration camps. That guy is going to Venezuela to run shit.
Yep.
That guy to a country full of people with brown skin.
The tiny Nazi. How about this? Didn't Christine Nome say something today that Venezuelans will be like cleared for immigration or something like that?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
They'll get refugee status. They already had it and you revoked it.
Yeah, like
and they're giving it back.
So yet again, we have an administration that's going to do something that's against its promise by not just kicking out brown people, by inviting more of the same brown people in after we bomb their country. What the hell?
That's the strength. That's the strength of the fascism, right? The strength is the consistency and the inconsistency.
Here's my theory.
Yep.
Stephen Miller and Donald Trump. Stephen Miller's okay with people dying. I feel like Stephen Miller wants people to die, bloodshed, torture.
Of course, he's a Nazi.
Right. They tried sending people to CCOT. That didn't work. Too much publicity. They tried sending people to Guantanamo Bay. That didn't work because it cost too much money. They tried building concentration camps in America like Alligator Alcatraz, but that got taken down because of the pushback. They need a place to send people. I feel like they're sending Stephen Miller down there to start setting up camps so they can start deporting people where there's no cameras, no government regulations, and no U.S. control.
Well, and the Nobel Peace Prize winning stooge is just going to help Trump do it.
Right. Exactly.
Talk about a cuck. She's like saying, well, he won't let me be president now, so I guess I need to give him my Nobel Prize.
I have that video. It's so glad. I'm so glad you brought that up. I actually have that clip. For those of you guys that don't know, apparently Donald Trump does not want the opposition leader, I forget her first name, Mercado is her last name. Doesn't matter. She's a Zionist stooge. Didn't want her to be the leader after they took out what's the name, Maduro, because she got the Nobel Peace Prize. So now what's happening? She's going on Don Jr.'s podcast, talking good about Donald Trump and all this stuff. Then she goes on Fox News and is offering to give her Peace Prize to Donald Trump. Are you mad? The guy has bombed 7 countries this year or last year. Or is it this year? Anyway, in the last year, since he's been in office, he has bombed 7 countries. And you want to give this psychopath a Peace Prize? Like, Donald Trump is the king of fucking participation trophies. Jesus Christ. This is so bad. But let me play this clip real quick.
Right. Did you at any point offer to give him the Nobel Peace Prize? Did that actually happen? I had read that somewhere. I wasn't sure if it was true.
Mar-a-Lago face already.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but I certainly would love to be able to personally tell him that we believe the Venezuelan people, because this is a prize of the Venezuelan people, certainly want to give it to him and share it with him. What he has done, as I say, historic.
Why didn't you just fly there and play with his balls?
A democratic transition, and I want.
How funny would it be if her sending this, like getting on the air, was just their way of tracking her signal down so they could kidnap her too? Like,
yeah,
probably.
Probably. Talk about a twist of fate.
Right. So, but here's the thing, though. They already swore in the vice president, who's now the president officially of the country.
She was the one that I think said it's a cabal of pedophiles that invaded our country, right? Wasn't that her that said that?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm all right. So I'm not defending Maduro at all because I don't know much about him, and he may be a very shitty person for all I know. But the guy he was against Israel, he was against Zionism, and he was for a free Palestine. And there are millions of Venezuelans in the streets as we speak protesting the kidnap. They want him back. Like, I'm gonna play a video for you. Tell me if this looks like a country full of people that hate their leader.
Big crowd.
That's what I'm saying. You cannot see the end of the trail of people. So I'm just like,
it looked like no kings out here.
With all the propaganda going on right now, like we thought China was this totally evil place. That's what we've always been told. But when they banned TikTok and everybody went over to Red Note, they realized, damn, China's pretty dope. You know what I mean? They're pretty advanced. Yeah, they're communists, and yeah, their leader's probably an asshole. But damn, they got it pretty good. They were making fun of us because we have to pay for ambulances just to get to the hospital.
The point is that
you know what I mean?
I was almost about to do a really bad accent and be like, "Oh, Americans, you have to pay for ambulances." Ooh, boo-hoo. And I'm like, "No, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't get it canceled, man."
Nope. That's
what's happening is the shine is finally disappearing from our own image of ourselves.
Right.
The rest of the world, like you look at a place like, North Korea. North Korea tells its people it's the best, everything's great, don't look outside the borders, blah, blah, blah. Place like other places, they don't have that sense of patriotism. That's that American patriotism. My point is, other countries, the people love their country dearly, but their country's success and achievements isn't projected on the world stage. It's just a pride in self. We have this pride in the grip we have on the world, or this imagined influence we have on the planet, and it's finally breaking down, and we're starting to see it, and we're starting to see the results of it.
Yeah, I think the only thing America ever had going for it was the image of being great. I don't think we were ever great.
That was the propaganda. Right?
Yeah, it was all
just never been great. We've been great for rich people for a long time, but that's it.
That's about it. Yeah, man. So we're talking about.
Well, really quick in regards to like. Hassan Piker was talking about this too, and I think it's really the most apt understanding of it is regardless of whether he did was good or bad. Just same with Soleimani, right? Back in Jesus Christ, when was that? 2019. Yeah. If you go around toppling all these leaders, it leads to regime change, and regime change historically just doesn't work out. So regardless of he was a good guy, he did this, he did that, he did this. It doesn't change the fact this was a war crime. It's regime change, and it's done to enrich the elites, to cover for the elites being in the Epstein pedophiles. That's all this is actually about.
Yeah, we're starting World War III, so Donald Trump, I mean, they have to be horrible. I mean, I thought everybody would be a little more enraged when we found out that Donald Trump allegedly saw the murder of a newborn baby that got dumped into a lake. I thought that would be, like, are we that numb?
Yes,
that literally was like a blip on everybody's radar.
How about this?
I'm like,
what
the fuck?
So Donald Trump signed into law the release of the Epstein files, and they've released about 1% of the total files. And then 1%. Instead of releasing any more, suddenly no one's talking about that. They're talking about World War III and going after Greenland. But the problem is before a few days ago, we thought it was all just bullshit to get people riled up. We didn't know it was real. Now we know he will do it, and there is no way to say safely and securely that he won't take a step too far.
Right.
He will. He's going to do something that is
I think he will.
Earth-shatteringly bad. He's going to do it.
He absolutely
I would not be surprised to see another military incursion somewhere else. Cuba. Again, Greenland.
No, we will. They will for sure.
Where else was he threatening? Any of those?
Mexico, Colombia.
Mexico is probably the most likely. He's probably
we know he wants the Panama Canal, so you can add that to the list. He was obsessed with it, so we can definitely add that to the list.
Yep.
Before we move on, though, I want to play that Stephen Miller clip because he had a complete meltdown.
Oh yes, I want to see
with
this.
Jake Tapper.
Dude, he went full on like see Kyle, like, and it was creepy.
Yeah, if you put a little mustache on this guy, it'd be like watching Hitler do an interview.
A little mustache because he's such a little guy himself.
Right? Oh, he's like a little guy.
States is using its military to secure our interests unapologetically in our hemisphere. We're a superpower, and under President Trump, we are going to conduct ourselves as a superpower. It is absurd that we would allow a nation in our own backyard to become the supplier.
Our own backyard. Our own, they're 1,400 fucking miles, and there's a big ass body of water between us. Give me a break. Our own backyard.
Of resources to our adversaries, but not to us. To hoard weapons from our adversaries. To be able to be positioned as an asset against the United States rather than on behalf of the United States.
Sovereign countries shouldn't be able to do what they want to do.
The Monroe Doctrine and the Trump Doctrine is all about securing the national interests of America.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
For years, we sent our soldiers to die in deserts in the Middle East to try to build them parliaments, to try to build them democracies, to try to give them more oil, to try to give them more resources. The future of the free world, Jake, depends on America being able to assert ourselves and our interests without
There's a reason
apology.
these losers go on Jake Tapper and not Mehdi Hassan.
That happened.
Right.
This isn't journalism.
Where
this
the
is
West
not journalism.
began apologizing and
no, he's just letting him.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
It's a.
Oh, Jake, such a good burn! Wow.
Is the idea? By the way, you do. I know. You love doing that smarmy thing, Jake, and I was hoping to be better than that this time.
I asked you about if there should be an election.
Exactly.
I asked if there would be an election in Venezuela. That's what I asked. I said, why was the president so quick to dismiss Machado? You answered that question. And then I said,
the objective, Jake, is security and stability for the people of Venezuela.
No, it's not.
Regime change. It's imperialism. That's all it is.
Right. This is recolonization of the Western Hemisphere, guys.
Yeah. And again, that's not journalism. Who does that serve? That serves no purpose other than for him to get his talking points out there, to brainwash other soft-minded, bald, little tiny idiots who have to pay for sex rather than get bitches on your own. Sorry, I had to say it. But that's all that's out there for. Yeah. It does not serve any purpose. CNN is a fucking joke.
So, all right. The Monroe Doctrine, or now that they're calling it the Monroe Doctrine. Jesus Christ, these guys are so unoriginal. Was established in, 1823 by President James Monroe. They really believed that the entire Americas, North, Central, and South, should be all under our control. That's where we're at in 2026. We're going back to Make America Great Again, right? 1823. That's where we're going. How far?
You know what? That is closer to what the Republicans want America to look like that time period than any other.
They go to the Department of Homeland Security's Twitter feed. All they do is post memes of like 40s and 50s white families.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it's the most racist place on Twitter. And of course, it's run by Israel. But no, they seriously are trying to say we can go back. They want to go back to when white people controlled everything, to where black and brown people and even women have no rights. Like, don't you guys understand? They literally want to deport people that just disagree with Donald Trump. Like liberal ideology. They want to literally round up people like us. It's not a joke. This is not a joke anymore. They really want to go after us. So I guess we're just going to have to see what happens here in the near future. So, but no, Stephen Miller is a psychopath. Yes,
remember that video where he talks about torturing?
I was getting ready to bring that up.
Beautiful.
High school. He did an interview. It was on a school bus where he talked about the Iraq war. He said, we shouldn't kill them. We should torture them, cut their fingers off, because torture is a celebration of life.
The only response to someone who's talking like that
crazy,
is,
dude.
Yeah, he didn't need a goddamn platform. He needed a pair of handcuffs. That's what that
man
needed.
He needs a straight jacket in a padded room, medication, like a lot of Thorazine and some therapy, because there's something wrong. I
don't even think it's that. I really think he's just a pure. Yeah, he's just a Nazi
he's
and
a
psychopath. There's not really medication for that.
If he had a medical degree, he'd be Mengele. It's as
like if
simple
you
as that.
told me, if you came to me and said, "Oh my God, we just found out Stephen Miller was killing people and eating the bodies,"
You're
I'd be like, "That tracks."
Yeah, yep.
I honestly, I'd be like,
Yep.
"Yeah, all right, yeah, I can see that."
If someone caught a video of him looking like Nosferatu and eating
Yeah.
a person, it would not shock me at all.
He has got serial killer vibes written all over him, man. The guy's a weirdo, and he's probably the most sadistic motherfucker in the government, if not
He's
in the
a pure
United
Nazi.
States. He
See,
is
we-
100%.
That's why I don't call Trump a Nazi, because Trump isn't a Nazi. Trump is a fascist lunatic. Stephen Miller is a Nazi. Like you could tell the guy collects Nazi memorabilia. He puts the hat on, he puts the armband on, he marches around like
He
the
probably
kid in Grandma-
cosplays
and,
as
Euro Trip. He marches around like the little kid in Euro Trip when they're
He
in
probably
Germany.
does, man. The
Okay,
guy's
this is
sick.
funny comments. I got to put that up there.
Oh no! Yeah.
No, that's for those of you guys don't know
He's got a
because
lampshade.
that's serious. Yeah, there's Nazis used to make lampshades and furniture out of the skin of Jewish people.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
That's what they did. And
Wallace. I feel bad for laughing at that now, but
right,
well,
but no, I mean, calling Stephen Miller Nazi is not even defamatory. This guy literally ripped off a Joseph Goebbels speech at Charlie Kirk's memorial.
If you were trying to sue him, if he were to try to have, if you called him a Nazi and he tried to sue you for defamation, he'd be like, actually, I want to dismiss this suit. I'm good with it. I'm good with that.
You know what? Right. I'm on your side here. Take the money. Take the money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what?
Unbelievable.
Fine, no big deal.
So that guy who has no problem throwing women and children in concentration camps, who wants to put more people in concentration camps. This guy actually once said, I forget, it was a number that he threw out, but the number is basically the amount of white people in the United States. That's what he wants, even though he's married to a woman with brown skin. Make it make sense.
Total Nazi-fied pick-me energy.
Oh, she is awful. Have you ever seen her do it? Oh my God, that woman.
Psychopath.
Wow. Yeah, she is right. They're perfect. They're a match made in hell for sure. All right. So moving on, Donald Trump. I don't know if you guys know this. And this is something that you would never, ever, ever do as the president of the United States, at least one that's brains is not made of applesauce. Donald Trump didn't tell Congress he was going to attack Venezuela, but you know who he did tell? The oil executives.
Yep, and it was all about the insider trading, so they could buy their stocks and get more stocks at a lower price, and it sells up. Hey, MAGA, when's the last time you got that kind of insider trading advice, huh?
Right.
How's your stock portfolio doing? Did you not get the oil money? You didn't
Bro,
get that
it's like,
tip?
It's like if this was a movie, it'd be like World War III sponsored by Chevron. You know what I mean? It's like,
but it's funny how they're already going to make billions of dollars off stolen oil. They had to make an extra few million off the insider trading. Like their standard operating procedure is grift and get money and claw money from people and get it all.
There's so many layers to this corruption. It's not even funny. Apparently, there's also, I think JP Morgan Chase or one of the big banks did a really big short on silver. They were betting against the silver market, and then silver went through the roof. Well, guess who has a shit ton of silver? Venezuela. They also have a bunch of other resources as well. So this is getting out of control. But again, Donald Trump shared attack plans, which are classified top secret information with oil executives who are not in the chain of command whatsoever. But here he just admits it.
Even then, before the operation took place, yes. Did you maybe tip them off? Before and after. And they want to go in, and they're going to do a great job for the people of Venezuela. And they're going to represent us well.
And here's the thing.
That's really America first right there.
Yeah, if you try to occupy, let's see, Iraq land area, Venezuela, because Iraq was basically just for the oil. It's for this reason, but they propagandized it saying, no, it's for democracy. It's for country building. No, it was for the fucking oil. Venezuela land area. Okay, so Iraq is less than half. Venezuela is over twice the size of Iraq, and we could not occupy Iraq for the oil. If we try to occupy Venezuela for it, there's going to be death and destruction. Unlike
bodies will be in the streets.
Something, someone, man, I can't remember who it was. They posted it. They were talking specifically about the parallels between an occupation. That's funny how we got here. And the thing about Iraq is it's fucking desert. Like, but the thing about Venezuela is it's a giant mountainous, hilly.
Yeah.
And Venezuela is tailor-made for insurgency.
Yes. So I want to just jump on this comment really quick because Leftover Joe was mentioning this. Nothing on you, Leftover Joe, but he was saying that Trump is probably lying about tipping off the oil execs. I don't think so, because we've seen this happen time and time again. How many times have we seen stock prices suddenly jump or suddenly fall because Trump happened to say something, and then we find out the day before that people dumped stocks, people bought stocks. So that has been one consistent thing in his entire time. I totally understand your perspective, but I really think that it did.
He's over tripled his net worth since he's been in office.
Yeah, that's what it's about. If he knew this was going to happen, yeah, he's going to buy the stock.
Even the ballroom. The ballroom is just he's getting kickbacks for all the government contracts that he handed out. Those are donations. They're just, I'll give you a government contract, but you're going to donate $50 million to my ballroom. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God. So this is getting a little out of control. So in case you think, like I said, Venezuela is just a start, man. These people are foaming at the mouth. I have never seen Lindsey Graham so excited.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But that guy, every time he shows up anywhere with a little Trump hat, it just reminds me of someone who gets pushed in front of a camera and they go, all right, you're selling this today. And he's like, yeah, I support this thing.
Yeah. So he's walking around. I believe he was wearing a Make Iran Great hat again.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then he is on Air Force One here. Look, sounds like he's half drunk, talking about excited about taking over Cuba. Like, listen to this.
Could have done it. And as to this commander-in-chief, he did something people talked about doing. You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They've preyed on their own people. Their days are numbered. We're going to wake up one day.
Israel has killed priests and nuns.
In our backyard, we're going to have allies in these countries.
Our backyard, they're all using that word.
Our backyard.
Allies. Dictators killing Americans. This is a big frigging day.
He has a hard on so thick there, he could poke it through plaster.
Right. I was going to say, I don't know how he was speaking. How was he speaking for that long when his nose was stuck up Trump's ass the whole time?
Yeah, no blood in the brain, all to the dick.
These guys are excited. They're excited. You see it in Lindsey Graham's face. These people are just, they cannot wait to, they love war. They want death and destruction.
They love making money off war, and they love sending other people's kids to die in war. That's what they love. They jerk themselves off over that.
So Mega,
that is honestly our most profitable industry.
Go to war. Please get out of here. Go to war, die, because fuck y'all for getting.
You know what the problem with that is? This is where something that we're going to have to come to terms with. MAGA essentially now is the boomers that got fleeced. So MAGA isn't signing up for a draft. The people that you want for the draft are the right-wing bros right now that are like the Andrew Tate scumbags. They're not signing up for nothing.
Yeah, good luck. Enjoy World War III.
But they're going to have to, because they're
going to have to.
Yeah,
they're going to get propagandized.
Who knows what continent you're going to be on?
You're not going to in 2026. You are not going to sell to the American people who almost unanimously hate all of this to volunteer en masse for the army. Right. You're going to have to put a draft in. We're about to occupy multiple countries at once. It is about to get fucking ugly.
Yeah, we have a deranged Hitler wannabe with access to nuclear weapons and a very, very unstable mind, and a bunch of people around him that do everything this nut job says.
Bewildered Bunny, you're 100% right on that.
Oh yeah. They
talked about specifically enlisting through schools.
They've always done that, though. They had recruiters when I was going.
No, but the P2025 talks about like systematically making it a part of high school curriculum.
They're even talking about making it mandatory for basically poor people.
Mandatory military service.
Yeah, they're talking about that too. So it's going to be a rough year. 2026 is not going to be good. It's not going to be good. There's going to be war.
I have too much gray hair for the military now, so fuck you.
I know, right? There's going to be war. We're already in it. It started. It has started. We just not have. It's going to play out right in front of us. 2026, American soldiers, possibly even Americans, are going to die.
And you know what?
On American soil.
To use one of their terms, it's not just going to be in our own backyard. We're going to see something happen on U.S. soil. I'm telling you.
We have never been so unsafe. Okay. We are so compromised by foreign governments, foreign money. Yeah. We are compromised on a level that the United States is, but you have
on that note, it's important. How do I phrase it delicately? It's important to remember that the same people that are defending themselves from ICE. So if ICE shows up their door unannounced and that person who owns that house exercises specific rights to defend themselves and something happens, the person who defended themselves is the right person, right? So if something were to happen by certain people affected by this and they were also defending themselves, it is important to remember who the real bad guys are here, because there's only certain people that are going out in our streets, kidnapping people and shooting people. That's ICE and the military that's currently in Venezuela.
And they're not arresting the worst of the worst. Like they're not going into, the worst hoods in Chicago or South Central LA. They would get fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
They would be. Yeah, that's why no ICE agents have been killed yet, because they're not going into the
because
bad
the Gravy SEALs aren't going to go fight guys with Uzis.
No,
well, just today I think it was in Minneapolis, it was reported that a guy who had a "No ICE allowed in my restaurant" sign, ICE went there and they shut the restaurant down. How is shutting down a restaurant by a U.S. citizen exercising his First Amendment rights?
Right.
How is that a drug deal?
Well, somebody.
How is that a gangbanger?
I was under the impression that American citizens are allowed to refuse service to anyone in their establishment.
We are, and now we're under fascism, and that's again to show we need to remember who the right people are. If this person had to do something to defend himself from fascism, we need to remember who the good people are in these scenarios.
Right. Because peace is only an option for so long. I hate to say that, but it's true.
We have a right to
and we got to stop being naive, because at this point, do you honestly think Donald Trump is going to let us vote him out of office? Are we still, you know what I mean? I hate to say it, but
he's not going to let us vote for his impeachment, which is what the midterms are.
Right. Because if he loses the midterms, actually, I'll play the video. He is worried about losing the midterms. So when Trump panics, he lashes out. Venezuela is a perfect option. You're a perfect example. You know what I mean? Instead of releasing the Epstein files, let's distract everybody and start war. So he's definitely worried about, because if he loses the midterms, his second 2 years, he'll be absolutely useless. He'll have no power whatsoever. And Congress will actually, hopefully, do their fucking jobs. Because we're even expecting another shutdown here. I think in February, they're talking about the government's going to be shut down again. So
well, that'll be convenient for him to stage strikes without letting Congress know. So
yeah, really. So, but here's the video of him talking.
We'll get to see Chuck Schumer be so concerned that he caves after a week.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got to win the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be. I mean, they'll find a reason to impeach me. I'll get impeached.
Find a
reason. Yeah.
Not hard to find one, buddy.
It's going to be hard to narrow down the reason.
Right. Yeah. Which reason do we want to use? You know what I'm saying? Jesus.
And on the here, I want to actually highlight this one. So, Cats, Amanda, and friends, I love you again. This is not me poo-pooing your idea, but I want to bring some things up, because I recently got in a Twitter battle today because certain centrists with big followings and big names on Twitter think it's a good idea for Chuck Schumer to handpick candidates that are running in red places like Alaska, Ohio, and elsewhere, because we need more centrism. Centrism is the true antidote to fascism.
No.
I'm sure that a guy like Chuck Schumer is going to be super popular in those red states, right? Yeah. Let the voters know that Chuck fucking Schumer, Mr. Disappointed himself, is attached to these voters. Yes, that's a great idea, rather than have a leftist who believes in healthcare for everyone, tax the fucking rich, stop sending bombs overseas, and let's get some goddamn.
We already have a centrist party. They're the Democrats.
Correct.
So we don't have a progressive liberal party.
Yes, so not to shit on you, Cats, Amanda, and friends. My point is that, yes, thank you. No to corporate Dems. That's my point. We need actual leftists, actual progressives who are not just center left, but are left.
You know what I do agree with? I agree with the concept of people joining Dems, as in at this point, you almost have to join a party to be able to get into, especially primaries and do other stuff like that.
Right.
Get involved. Don't give up on voting, I think, is the real message, because we have to continue to show. I am the first person to tell everyone that I talk to at work that I don't think we're going to have elections this year. But you know what? If we have elections, I'm going to show the fuck up and I'm going to vote. And that's what's important, is we cannot give up. We cannot abandon the mechanisms of democracy just because we know we no longer live in one. We have to live the ideal that we are fighting for.
And if elections are canceled, we had wars over getting the right to vote, and we will do what we need to make sure we have elections.
Right. I don't see Trump winning, but I don't see America winning at the same time. America's going to lose big in this
We're
scenario.
in a losing streak for a while. We're not getting out of this with all sunshine and rainbows in the next 5 years.
No,
we've been set up. Just wait until the health emergency starts. Just wait until 20,000 children next year die of meningitis. Just wait until the measles spreads to all 50 states.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Arnold scream.
Yeah. What was this? I'm gonna play this clip real quick at Donald Trump, because a lot of people think he went and arrested Maduro because Maduro was making fun of his dance, which is stupid. But honestly, this is Trump. I can see him doing that. The guy does get baited by tweets and social media posts, so I wouldn't be surprised. But here he is, I guess, recreating it, and this is just so embarrassing. Like, again, I feel like we're living in the prequels to the movie Idiocracy, and we're just watching it right now. Look at this.
I want to be more effusive. I want to really, But she gets it, and
what is wrong with the color of his face?
My wife,
I don't know,
hates when I do this.
What am I looking
She said,
at?
she's a very classy person, right? She said, it's so unpresidential. I said, but I did become president.
So weird.
I recently saw Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and that looked more human than whatever in the hell was on that stage.
Yeah, that was just.
It was bad, right? Here he is bragging about selling the most Boeings. He says, like,
"Oh yeah."
Did you? What is?
I don't know what the hell that even means, but okay.
Yeah, here he is talking about how he sold the most Boeings ever. I don't know what this is, but he sounds like a used car salesman. He really does. Listen to this.
I have a big problem with it. I'm the king. I have sold more Boeings than any human being on earth. They gave me an award, Salesman of the Year. I said, what about Salesman of in the history of Boeing? I've sold more Boeing planes than any man in history by far. Probably over 1,000. Over 1,000 planes. I said, that's the good news. But why should they wait 3-4 years to get a plane? They should get them immediately. The F-35s, it takes too long to get them. The Apache helicopter.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
My God. Like, he has no idea how complicated a piece of machinery a fucking plane is.
Yeah, he thinks you order an F-35.
Do you know why?
3D print one and send
half the reason it takes so long to build a freaking passenger liner is because of all the safety protocols and checks and redundancies.
My God.
It's not that it takes too long to screw a bolt in, which is how his dumb dim-witted brain is probably working. Move faster, work faster. What's going on?
He has no concept of reality and how things actually work. But yeah, he's apparently sold a lot of Boeings. Great. This is what he was talking about today. Like, by the way, this is insane. Then the big one where he talks about wanting to cancel elections. Okay. We were not joking. If Donald Trump enacts war powers or invokes war powers, we may be cooked.
And also,
that
Donald
gives
Trump,
him an insane amount of power.
Donald Trump doesn't understand humor because he doesn't understand like the limits on self and all that. He doesn't understand how to take one for the team. He doesn't understand
humility and empathy.
Yeah, exactly. So just this isn't joking. Like he thinks he's saying it and he thinks people are going to think he's joking, but what he says, he means.
Right. That's what he does. He says it in a joking way to see how people react, how much pushback he gets. If he doesn't get any pushback, he keeps moving forward. Okay. But here he is, like Mike and I have been saying forever. He wants to start a war to cancel the election.
the worst president, did the worst job. They had the worst policy. We have to even run against these people. Now, I won't say cancel the election. They should cancel the election because the fake news will say he wants the elections canceled.
I won't say cancel the election. Cancel the election.
Well, he does that. That's always that double, double ellipsis thing or whatever.
That's so good, man.
There's a guy on Blue Sky. Chad Loader had a great thread about, because you said how he says these things and he pushes further and further until there's no pushback.
Right.
Yep.
He calls it, Chad Loader called it the escalation ladder. So let's say someone's going to hurt you on the street, mug you, or just wants to pick a fight, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, look at you across the street. They're going to size you up, see that you look weak. Then they're going to come closer to you, see how you react. No reaction. They're going to come closer, see how you don't react. Maybe they'll shove you. You don't react, or you cower. Then they'll just push you further, and they'll keep pushing until they start throwing punches or whatever it may be.
Right.
And the people who don't get their shit rocked are the ones that know how to find a way to stand up for themselves and push back without escalating needlessly, right? It's the same thing in military. You need to have, what's that called? Retaliatory strikes in size or whatever it is. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And every time Trump does this kind of stuff where he
respond in kind.
Every time Trump does this kind of stuff where he says something horribly outrageous, like he's going to cancel elections, there's no pushback.
No,
and there
never
has to be. That's the only way to stop it.
Right.
And when there's pushback, we win. When you sue him, you win. When you actually fight the agencies, they leave LA, they leave Chicago, whatever it may be.
But no one's fighting en masse, and I don't understand it. Like, and it's not like it's hard to do it. The mechanisms are there. Every time like you said, every time he does any of this, the times there have been victories, it was like the next day they started fighting, and they won every time.
I made a video.
Lost almost every one of his battles. I mean, there are key ones he has won, but he's lost more than he's won.
And the Dems have always been the one to tuck tail and run, and that's how we get to where we are.
They're like, but it'll look bad if we sue him.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll
I
think
made a
we're
video
being petty
about this because it was New Year's Eve. I read an article that they were pulling all the troops off the streets. No more National Guard in the streets. I was making a video. I was actually happy about it because I thought maybe Donald Trump was following court orders. And then it hit me. I knew on New Year's Eve we're going to war. It's the only reason Donald Trump pulled those troops off the streets. I even said it in the video. We're getting ready to go to war. And then 3 days later, we attacked Venezuela.
Yep, you had it right on the money. Yep.
Yeah. And I hate being right about this shit, but it's going to get worse than our sons and daughters in uniform.
You need to work on an Ian Malcolm impression from Jurassic Park, just being like, boy, I hate being right all the time. Just something like that.
I don't, man. I hate being able to read these things. You know what I'm saying? But just so you know, we're clear on things. Donald Trump doesn't care about a declaration of war. He figures if he doesn't declare war, he doesn't need congressional approval. So here he's asked about it, and he says he doesn't want to declare war. He just wants to kill them. What? Imagine if like Biden or Obama said some shit like this. It would be front page news for a month.
And that's what James is saying. Nothing that he says is ever given the appropriate pushback that it demands, because we've treated. See, this is the sick irony of it. Everyone has always looked at him like he's a clown. So they've treated him and allowed him to be a clown, but it never ends. And then when the things that he says that are clownish, he does or come true, everyone goes, ha ha, oh, okay. And then he says something crazier and they're like, that clown. No.
Yeah, what a joker.
He's just good at manipulating.
Yes, and I want to go back to this comment because this is also part of the problem with the New York Times and Washington Post. They didn't do this out of journalistic integrity, okay? This was capitulation, as it's always been with them, time and time again. The enemy of the people is just as much the Republicans and the Democratic establishment as it is corporate fucking media. So please, if you guys have money, a subscription with New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, whomever, pull it, cancel it, invest in Midas Touch. Excuse me, not Midas Touch. Zedio with Mehdi Hassan, ProPublica,
Ground News,
a more perfect union. Yeah, them. Find some LA Taco. Find someone else.
Yeah, we use Ground News for our show here.
There's a reason they killed the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, so NPR would go away. It's not that complicated.
Which was doing a lot of independent reporting.
Right. And this is the control the media part of things. And just so you know, we're going to be you're going to see so much propaganda this year. It's not even going to be funny because a certain country with a blue and white flag is planning on investing a lot of American taxpayer dollars back into pro-Zio propaganda in the United States. They also have recently said that it's time to limit the First Amendment. Why the fuck?
What word was that?
Talking about limiting our First Amendment rights. Go fuck yourselves. I don't think so. So I'm sorry, I had to say that real quick.
I know we are in agreement. There's an outside foreign nation that is acting in relation with fascists trying to limit our rights over here.
Right. I don't want to say the name of the country, but look up Greater Israel. I know it's going to fuck our video, but to look up Greater Israel. It's no longer
I don't want to say the name of Israel, but look up Israel.
Right, but you have to because you have to say the name of it. Greater Israel is not a conspiracy theory.
Greater Schmizrael.
They want to take over a majority of the Middle East, and they are also, again, they are calling America the New Jerusalem, for fuck's sake. What do you think that means? That means that they are seeing us now as their new promised land that apparently was promised to them 3,000 fucking years ago.
Yep.
Like, come on, people. Wake up. This is really happening right in front of us. We cannot be fucking numb like this. We have to be angry. We have to be pissed off. Okay? We have to remain as peaceful as possible, but it doesn't mean we can't be fucking furious. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's our rage? Where is our fucking rage over this? Like,
I feel like apathetic. Americans are.
God damn it.
Even in our rage, we're apathetic.
I feel like we should just be in the streets. Like, why are we paying taxes? Why the fuck are we paying taxes at this point? It doesn't go to us.
It's almost like a tax strike would be helpful.
It goes to the billionaires and other countries. Other countries get more welfare than our own fucking citizens. How is that okay in any world? America first, my ass. Fuck off with that. Sorry, I got angry really quick.
No, it was 100% correct. Like you said, we send our taxpayer dollars to other country, but not here.
Yeah, we can't have healthcare, and our healthcare subsidies are fucked, so everybody's healthcare premiums are not going to go up. But other countries we support have free healthcare. But here's Donald Trump talking about he just wants to kill people.
Mr. President, if you are declaring war against these cartels and Congress is likely to approve of that process, why not just ask for a declaration of war?
He has black eyes there.
I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead.
What about the Stattlers? What about the president that you let go?
They're just going to be like dead. Who says that?
Yeah, but again, he uses the we're going to kill people that bring drugs into this country. All right, what about the people that were responsible for the opioid epidemic? Guess where they came from? Good old USA.
Right.
What about the president of Nicaragua or wherever it was that you just let go that brought 400 million tons of cocaine?
Right, you pardoned the Silk Road guy. You pardoned the Silk Road guy. You could literally buy guns, any drugs,
But now that would require journalism, because at that moment when he was just saying his bullshit, see, at some point journalism went from asking a question, hearing an answer, and pushing back on it to asking a loaded question that was open-ended and just letting someone talk for 30 seconds.
Right.
A true journalist would have said, oh, okay, you're going to kill people that bring drugs in. What about A, B, C, D, of all the things you've done to let drug dealers out of prison? No.
So we went in for the drug. That's all we heard.
The fishermen that you bombed and lied saying that they were.
And how about this? He still calls them fake news media when they're already capitulating to him. He has so little respect that they're like, yup, we're pansies. Yep.
They're just the whip dog that keeps getting whipped and doesn't do shit and will never turn around and bite.
But again, I don't see how this administration is going to pull this off, because most of the actual qualified people are gone. They got rid of everybody that was actually qualified to do their jobs and just replaced them with loyalists. Do you think Pete Hegseth is going to successfully navigate us through World War III? Are you fucking mad? You know what I'm saying? Honestly,
I wouldn't let him navigate us through playing with toy soldiers. Like,
that's what I'm saying. We have complete idiots who have
I wouldn't
no
let
idea
him
what
look
they're
up routes on a map, let alone navigate a war. You know,
we are so
practically.
Like,
I'm gonna do this
for our
part
advantage.
Yeah,
guns.
I keep saying we're in such danger. Our country, Americans, we are in danger from other outside threats now. I don't think we've ever been less safe under any other administration, but this guy just has opened the door to all the corruption, all the bad shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, they took actual experienced FBI agents off of cases of real drug traffickers, real pedo cabals, real sex traffickers, real terrorist watches,
real right-wing terrorists.
And now they're all out there in the streets going after abuelas selling taco meat.
They took 1,000 FBI agents to redact the Epstein files. They paid over $1 million taxpayer dollars to inappropriately redact. Because everybody unredacted it.
Yep, we are 100% less safe.
You know what I'm saying? They spent $1 million and 1,000 FBI agents to redact the Epstein files. So while people were actually committing crimes that they could have been investigating, they were too busy taking Donald Trump's name out of the Epstein files, which just, I'm sure, proves that he's a sex trafficker.
Yeah, it's all
just a participant. Like, they do traffic little girls.
Did you hear about the one where that said that Donald Trump specifically sent teenage hostesses, quote unquote, to Epstein from that's trafficking
from Mar-a-Lago,
but it doesn't matter because he doesn't get in trouble for anything.
He never has. Yeah, this guy's lived.
And that's again because no one has decided it mattered and makes it an issue, especially not the Dems.
I mean, he's lived almost a fully consequence-free life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even when he's
like
had
every rich asshole,
he gets propped back up by someone.
Like every rich asshole.
He has failed his way all the way to the top.
Like every rich asshole.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Rule of thirds right there.
All right. So one more video and then we'll close it out. But this is Donald Trump talking about the Monroe Doctrine, or as he like to call it, the Donroe Doctrine.
Like he learned that in school and retained it and fucking knows what it is.
So he wants to take over the entire Western Hemisphere, guys. Okay. This is not a joke. We are not talking about conspiracy theories. We are talking about things that are coming out of the president's own goddamn mouth. Okay, so let me just play this real quick so we can prove it.
All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries, and not anymore. All the way back dating to the Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot.
We've done better.
You can tell when he's ad-libbing.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell when he goes off script from the speech.
Whenever he says
Monroe
something's
Doctrine,
a lot, the biggest, the best.
We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American.
And again, keep in mind, like I said, we couldn't even occupy Iraq, and Venezuela is over twice that size. Brazil itself is larger than the continental U.S., and that country alone is only about a third the size of the continent. We're not even factoring in Central America, and people don't take into account how big Mexico is. There is no plausible way this incompetent administration regime could possibly, and we're not even factoring Canada, okay? The moose will riot. There's no way we can control it.
Watch out for the fucking moose.
They will fuck
you know,
up.
Why do I have a feeling that they invaded and took over Venezuela with absolutely no plan to do what to do next?
They did. That's exactly what they did.
Is that what that feels like? Like
it's
they
a
have
bunch
no
of little boys
plan on what happens afterwards.
Tiny boys that got grown-up toys, and now they want to play with them.
They think they're playing StarCraft, and it's just like, oh, this unit goes here, this unit goes here. I got flanked. Everybody's dead.
Right. It's like the White House. Donald Trump tore down a third of the White House with no actual plans on rebuilding it. And then he fired the guy that was going to build it. Like, this is a complete mess.
Yeah, they're not sending their best. They're sending drugs. They're sending rapists.
Jesus, man. But we're going to have to deal with this. We'll be reporting on it the whole time, of course. And also, don't forget, we will be back in D.C. regardless of what happens between now and then. Next month, February 27th and 28th, I will definitely be in D.C. for at least 2-3 days. If you guys are willing to help out, we do have a small GoFundMe set up for that. These trips are ridiculously expensive. Thanks to your help, last year was a great success for us, I think. We didn't grow as much as we wanted to, like with subscriptions and stuff like that. But, man, we really hit the streets last year, and I'm really proud of all of us. And I'm really, really thankful for all of our supporters. Like, you guys have been outstanding, because when Mike and I started this, it was literally just two dudes, no fucking clue what we were doing. And we just knew we had a strong message. That was literally how we started all this. You know what I mean? And we've been fumbling our way through it. And you guys have been absolutely amazing the entire time. So if you haven't followed yet or subscribed yet, please do so. Share this video with your friends. Share it on other platforms. It really helps us out. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And just brace yourself for what's going to be a very rough year.
Yeah, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
There's no way to sugarcoat this.
Because, like, it's getting to all of us. It's getting to me. I personally, I can tell you that for a fact. It's starting to wear on me. But just,
it's hard.
Stay sane. Be with your people. Have some good food. Chill out. Just keep
and
hanging
don't
there.
get stuck in a cycle of social media and news.
Take a break.
You got to detox from that stuff, because that stuff will make you think the entire world is ending. You got to touch grass. I tell myself that. I'm actually saying that for myself too. You got to get out of the house. You got to touch some grass and just get away from it all. Unplug.
Hang on, let's give a shout out to Brina. She's depressed. Brina, we love you.
You're
always
Brina.
on these streams.
Yeah,
thank you. We know you're depressed. We're not going to say feel better, but feel better. Okay? We love you.
Don't worry. We'll be here with you. We're going to fight this fight together. And our movement's only going to continue to grow, whereas Donald Trump's support is going to continue to shrink. I mean, it is bad right now, but it's only going to continue to get worse. So love you guys. Thank you for all the support. And we are going to rock and roll here in 2026. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you on Sunday.